All right, good evening, everybody. We'll just wait another minute or two while everybody's coming in. Let me turn off the waiting room.
Hey,
Just get a thumbs up if everybody can hear me okay. All right, so we know that works. So I'm glad you could all join me tonight. If you haven't met me yet, my name is Albert Spiegel. I'm the assistant principal for instructional technology and member of the class of 1995. What we're going to do tonight and over the next couple of sessions is I'm going to introduce you to bits and pieces of what we do at Bergen from a technology standpoint. So, when, your sons are, and hopefully they're joining us when they're on in September. This will be a refresher for them. Won't be stuff that they're experiencing for the first time. So, I'm going to record and post, and then I'll share the slides that I have with you as well. So, you can go back and watch and review. So I think it'll be helpful for everybody. So I'm just going to throw up my slides and throw myself up there. And so what we're going to do tonight, we're going to talk about a few things, just some stuff that I did not get to go over totally at orientation, and then we'll talk about the BC email address. So a little review and a little new stuff. And these sessions aren't intended to be long. Just enough to get you going on different topics, and I'll go over the dates for the remaining ones in a little bit. And certainly then I'll open for, when I'm done, I'll open for questions if anybody has any. So let's see. First thing up is tech support. Our technical support is available. Our help desk is available throughout the summer, Monday through Thursday, from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. And the email address is helpdesk@bergencatholic.org. And that is available, students, parents, if you have questions, if you are having trouble with any of, your email, or later on in 2 weeks when we talk about Power School or Naviance, Blackboard, it's for you to get, assistance with that. And it's staffed by, we have some college students, alums that man the help desk. We also have in-person support, so if you need to come in, I know Mr. Burles, who is our help desk manager, our technology support center manager, is on with us, and he is also available 8 to 1 Monday through Thursday. So if you need to come in for anything, please, come in and do that. The whole idea is that we want you to have all of your questions answered and be in a good spot for when September comes. We just started our summer hours yesterday, but we know the summer's just going to fly. And like I said, we want everybody to be prepared. Just to go over, I think hopefully all of you have completed the survey for devices. These are the devices for next year. We are anticipating a delivery to us. The MacBooks are probably going to come earlier than the iPads. There's a significant lead time for the iPads, and again, hopefully they come sooner. But we will be in touch with you, as I said at orientation, once the devices are in and they're ready. If you are bringing a device, so if you chose option 4, I'll come back to the slide in a second. If you chose option 4 as your choice, you're going to bring in both of your devices, or you're going to really bring in options 2, 3, or 4. You need to make an appointment with Mr. Burles and bring in your devices. Work out a time with him. I think we'll probably do that starting after the 4th of July. By the time we're doing what we're doing in the building now, we're working on our wireless infrastructure. I think probably after the 4th of July would make the most sense to bring in if you're using either option 2, 3, or 4. But you can make appointments with him. If for some reason you haven't filled out that survey for devices, you do need to do that to commit to a an option. Otherwise, we are assuming you're bringing your own devices. So it's really important, if you haven't done that, that you do the survey. Let me just put my chat up just in case. Okay. So as a reminder, these are, if you're purchasing the bundle from us, and that bundle from us are these two devices, the MacBook Air 13, it's an M1 processor, and the iPad 10.2. Some of you asked me at orientation if you could bring, you've got an M2 processor. That's fine. The only thing that I will tell you is that both of these devices, when you get them from us through Apple, have 4 years of Apple Care Plus protection on them. Okay, so that includes damage protection, includes battery service, and the accidental. I didn't change the slide, but the MacBook has accidental. It's no fee. I have them reversed. So you've got good coverage. You can't get more than 3 years in the store. So just understand, if you're bringing your own devices, that you're responsible for any type of warranty or any any damage insurance or damage protection, because certainly we can't cover your devices if you're bringing your own. We'll cover what we sell. All right. You will be billed. I believe it's going to be, the first billing will be in July for the devices. That'll appear on your July tuition statement. So any questions or any billing issues get resolved with the business office. But when you come to pick up your laptop, or actually either device, you will have to show proof of payment. So make sure that you pay for the device before you come and get it. We can't release anything without it being paid for first. These are just the minimum specs for. Really should be option 4 if you are bringing your own device. What you should have. We actually. We will check every device. If you're bringing your own, when you bring it in to set it up, we will check it and make sure that it's good. But anything that's at least probably no more than 3 years old is fine. If it gets past 3 years old, it's a little questionable, but we'll check it out. Mr. Burrows will check it out before we configure it. Just so you know, if you are bringing one or both of your own devices, we have to configure that, and we'll have to put some of our configuration policies on there, affecting what we can do with the computer. So just be aware of that as well. If you chose option 4, these are the minimum. This is what I was looking for. The minimum specs actually go back as far as 2016. Anything around 2016, 2017 is fine, and any of these older iPads are fine. But however, some of them are getting older to a point where they won't support the latest operating system. So any questions, really, you want to reach out to the help desk. But just to just know that if you're planning on bringing a device and it's older, you definitely want to reach out to Mr. Burrows earlier rather than later, and make sure that we clear that device. Right. The other thing I talked about at orientation was ID cards. What we do with our ID pictures, we want to give you an ID card on the first day of school. And to do that, we ask you to take a selfie, all right, a headshot, and send it to the help desk email address. And we'd like you to do that by the end of June, by June 30th. All you need to do, ideally, it's in a red Bergen polo. If you don't have a red Bergen polo, that's fine, okay? But it's easier if you do it in front of a plain background, whether it's your like the wall without any wallpaper, just like a painted wall, just so it kind of brings out your face. The whole idea is that we could see who you are, and then we'll upload these pictures into Power School so that by the time the first day happens, your teachers know who you are when they go to plan out seating charts and whatnot. So it is important that you do that. It won't take you more than 10 seconds. Have someone take a picture of you, do it yourself. If you're using an iPhone, please do not put live pic on there. Make sure it's a still picture, and send it off to us, so this way we have your ID card ready. If you, as a student, have a different last name than your parents, please make sure you indicate who you are in the picture. Oftentimes we'll get pictures from a parent and we can't immediately match the name. Okay, so please make sure you're we know who you are when you're taking the picture. Okay. So the new thing that I want to talk about tonight is your Bergen Catholic email address. All right. So everybody, we're a Google school. We've been a Google Suite school for the students since 2013. and we're proud of that. We think it's a excellent platform. So you will your email addresses have been created, and what it looks like is I'll talk about them, and then I'm gonna demo it on how to get on. So your email address is your first initial, your full last name, and then the number 26 at bergencatholichs.org. All right. Again, your first initial, full last name, and then 26, your graduation year at bergencatholichs.org. All right. There's no apostrophes. There's no hyphens. So if you have a punctuation mark in your name, that would not be part of your login address. All right. So that's your email address. Your password is Bergen12. That's everybody's password when they sign in. Right. And then what will happen is the first time you sign in, you will be prompted with the acceptable use agreement for Google, which you have to accept in order to get access to your account. And then once you accept this, it's going to ask you to change your password. Right? So what your password needs to be is unique, at least 8 characters long, something that's not easily guessable. All right? You don't want to use personal info, common words. Make it something that's unique to you. We can reset it, so it's not like we are forcing a certain password. You will use your BC email address to access Naviance and Blackboard. All right, so we do use some single sign-on. So both of those services rely on your Google email address. All right. So what I'm going to do is let me just switch over, and I'll just show you how this works. And then if you're having issues, just drop them in the chat, and I'm almost positive I saw Mr. Burles on here, and he will, we can try and solve them tonight. All right. So let me just switch my view over here. So this is the sign-in page when you go to Google. So why don't we just add over? Let me bring my laptop over here. So I'm going to log in as aspiegel26 at bergencatholichs.org. All right, that's my assigned email address. All right, and once I do that, and you can do this from any browser. It's not like you have to wait for your laptops or anything. You can do this from pretty much anywhere. If you click on Next, it's going to ask you for your password. And we said the first time your password is Bergen12. Okay. So once you hit Next, it'll recognize you as a new account holder, and you will have to click Accept to accept the usage agreement for Google. And once you do that, now it's going to ask you for a password. Okay, so I am going to make a password. All right, as long as you've typed the same password in twice, you click Change Password. And now you have access to your email. Okay. So you can choose how you want to personalize Google. And then once you're in, you're in. Okay. So now I'm in my inbox. And this is my aspiegel26 at bergencatholichs.org email address. Okay. Always one of the hazards of running Tech Tuesdays from home is that the dog always wants to be a part of it. Sorry, folks. So that's it. That's from that standpoint. Let me switch that back over here. Right? So real simple. Now that you have access to your email address, you can play around with that. You can use Google Drive. You can use Google Docs. What you want to do, most of our academic stuff comes from no reply at bergencatholichs.org. You can add that to your contact list. And you can download the Gmail app. And I would suggest students putting that on your phone. It's not something you want to look at, once a week. You want to have daily access to your email address, right? I'm looking at in the chat. MacBooks will We anticipate them being ready by the end of July. Certainly, if that's earlier, we'll do that. I believe the first in your July tuition statement, you will see the fee for the laptop based on your survey choice. Okay. So the last thing I want to share with you before and we'll certainly stay around for questions, is these are the remaining Tech Tuesday dates. So we'll have another one in 2 weeks, and we'll talk about PowerSchool and Naviance. Then again in July, we'll talk about Blackboard, which is our learning management system. We will work in August on creating your BC Apple ID, and then talk about e-textbooks towards the end of August. So just enough that if you're on each one, you'll have a good idea of what you need to do, especially as a student. You want to be able to come in on the first day and know what's going on. So with that, if there's any questions, we will send out. I'll send the slides and the video to Mr. Rosa, and I know he'll want to send that out. But if you have any questions, we'll stay around. If you think of anything, you can certainly email the help desk. I think that's pretty much it. We're short and simple, and to the point, and that's it. So unless there's any questions, like I said, we'll hang around. But I'm hoping you all have a good night, and we will see you in 2 weeks for our next installment of Tech Tuesday.